Night with Phee, where the world slows its pace. Tropical dreams and a warm, safe space. Night with Phee, let the rhythm embrace.
Welcome to another Phee SPORTSBALL with Sir Isaac the Guru. It's March Madness Final Four right here as Illinois against UConn and Arizona versus Michigan. How you doing, Sir Isaac the Guru, and have you enjoyed this tournament?
I have really enjoyed the tournament. And anyone who's throwing out there that college basketball, college sports is dying, even though I don't, we all have talked about transfer portal, all that stuff. We don't like it. It ain't dying. It's still March Madness, and it's still a blast, and everyone's still watching it. I've really enjoyed it so far. I got to watch almost every single game, and it's been a pleasure. Other than the stretch after Arkansas lost, obviously, was rough. But I'm excited for the Final Four. Looking forward to enjoying the games. I think Arizona Michigan might be the best game.
That is that is the finals, and a lot of times the matchups in the semis determine what happens in the finals.
Yeah, and I wish it was the national championship. I wish it happened to work out to where they were on opposite sides. But I'm just happy that we're going to get to enjoy that game because that should be a great game.
2 losses on the entire year for both Michigan and what I think is a quality basketball team too. So Michigan and Arizona. Arizona just looks like that they're just strong. Michigan looks like that they can play inside out. Both of them have quality athletes, top round draft picks. And then you got UConn. UConn, they just seem to show up. Once you get in a role, once you get in a winning culture, once people determine that, hey, we're going to win every time we walk out on the court, it's tough to beat them. That is the mentality that they have. They're not that good, Sir Isaac the Guru, but they don't believe that.
I gotta admit, I am not a Dan Hurley guy. I don't know if I've said that on here before. He's like, I appreciate intensity and I appreciate like that kind of like level of intensity, competition, that whole deal. But he to me is like I don't think he has full control, whereas some coaches use it, like Tom Izzo. He uses it, but he has control of it. Dan Hurley does not have control of it, and he looks like a child. I don't like watching him. I don't like that they've been as good as they are. They're lucky to be in this game. Duke absolutely choked. I think it was like the biggest margin for someone to lose, or like a 1 seed to lose. I forget the exact stat, but it was really bad. One of the biggest chokes ever. And then at the end, you let them claw back, get to the end of the game. Literally all you have to do is wrap the ball up. 10 seconds left, inbound the ball. They were able to inbound the ball cleanly. They were able to get a whole extra pass cleanly. They were able to get 2 whole extra passes cleanly. Wrap up the ball. I don't know where the lapse in. Like, I know it's a crazy in-game situation. Stress is high, but I just don't understand how you mess that up. The ref's going to call a foul if you wrap it up. He ain't going to call a jump ball, or else he's going to get absolutely killed on social media. I mean, it's a classic wrap the ball up foul, or if they don't foul you, you run the 10 seconds out. It was embarrassing. I'm mad that they lost that game. Duke's always been like my sister team growing up, so that made it even worse. Then Dan Hurley basically headbutts a ref, and then
I knew that's where you were going. I just didn't know when.
Comes out after the fact and says, "Oh, our relationship's different, and I've known him forever, and we're good buddies, and it was just an intense moment." I don't care what you say or who you know. I don't care. You take the personal relationship out of reffing and coaching all the time, and I ain't trying to be the guy sitting here crying saying, "Oh, tee him up, whatever." You touch a ref in any sport, as a coach or a player, name me when that's not a ejection.
Automatic.
You're
Automatic.
gone. It's crazy that was just like not even like the ref didn't even do anything. Like, I don't care if you're personally related to him or not. I don't care if he's your brother.
If he is, he shouldn't be reffing.
Yes,
If
I
you
mean
got that kind of relationship
that's a
with him,
good
he shouldn't
point.
be reffing.
That's a good point. But it was a crazy game. And then on the other end, Illinois, that game was tight for a minute, but then Illinois just kind of
You said it at the first of the tournament. They can play with anybody if they're hitting their threes. They've done so. That they don't play defense. But I've got my guru joining us now. That's right, joining us now, all the way from Oklahoma City, the Boomer Sooner himself, Mr. Caleb Womack, for joining the show. Thank you, Caleb. How are you doing today?
I'm pretty good, Phee. How are you?
Rocking and rolling, nickel and diamond. Just talking about with Sir Isaac, the guru here, our Final Four matchups with Arizona versus Michigan, 2 number 1 seeds, 2 losses for the year only, against Illinois, a 3 seed, and against UConn, a 2 seed in the other side. We were just talking about UConn and Illinois. What is your comments on Dan Hurley headbutting the ref, and if you think UConn is going to be able to play with either Arizona or Michigan?
Man, I think Dan Hurley, one, is a psychopath. But in terms of him headbutting the ref, it looks pretty incidental to me. I'd probably do the same thing. It didn't really look like facetious, in my opinion. But man, I think UConn can hang with the best of them. If you can come back down 20 on Duke and beat them on a buzzer beater, I think you can hang with either of those other 2 teams. I had Duke to win it all. Arizona's a good team. Michigan's a good team, but Michigan went on the 33-14 run against Tennessee, and that's not going to happen every game.
Totally agree with you that. Sir Isaac, the guru, any comments on Caleb?
No, I agree. I think first of all that their best option to play in the Final Four is Illinois, because I think of the teams left, that's their best chance. I really, when I watch UConn, I don't think that they have the same level of talent as some of the other teams, but I can't really say much because they keep just every single year they keep winning, and so obviously he's a good coach. He is a psychopath. That is a true statement. He probably might wind up in jail someday for some reason. But no, they definitely can get to the championship game. It makes me sick. I'm not a fan. Yeah, Michigan. I feel like the Illinois and Michigan game were like the same. They were like tight for a second. You thought that the other team was going to hang around, then both of them just kind of like steadily took control, and then it wasn't close. I think Michigan's amazing. I can't wait for that game. That's the most excited I've been for a game of the whole tournament, other than Arkansas, obviously. But
For sure.
But yeah, no, that game's going to be a blast. But yeah, no, I agree with everything you said.
Well, let's break down those games now. The first game of the night, if Guru would give you the betting line of that game, we'll break it down for you with Caleb on the phone from Oklahoma City. How's the weather over there?
So cloudy and humid today. We've got a chance for some golf ball sized hail and flash flooding and a little bit of tornadoes. So it's a good day in Oklahoma.
Good day in Oklahoma.
Sounds like an Oklahoma spring right there.
I don't think you could. Have you heard that song, Oklahoma, where the wind goes blowing down the stream?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're from Oklahoma, you have. All right, let's go,
So
Guru.
on every
First
billboard in Norman.
There you go. First game of Saturday afternoon.
It's Illinois UConn. Illinois is a 1.5 point favorite, which to me, I wish Illinois was an underdog because I'd be all over it. But I feel like an idiot. I feel like it's one of those games where I believe in Illinois, but if I bet against UConn, then I'm going to feel like an idiot when UConn wins the game.
Illinois comes out at a 1.5 point favorite against UConn, who has won 3 national championships in the last 4 years.
I think they've won like 7 in the last 4 years.
I don't even know. Oh, my goodness gracious. Well, Caleb, let's start off with you. You've got Illinois minus the 1.5 against UConn. Break that game down for me and let me know who you think's going to win it.
Well, I think it's silly that ESPN has UConn at a 41% chance to beat Illinois with a better record and obviously a much more talented roster. when that Caravan kid wasn't playing very good against Duke, and you still beat Duke coming off 20-point comeback. I just don't see how you put them as an underdog. And then their freshman Mullins is unreal as well. So I don't know. I think that game's going to be obviously one or two ways. It's either going to be UConn's going to blow them out, or they're going to have to win on the buzzer beater again. I just don't think Illinois is going to have a chance to beat them. I think they're too good, and Dan Hurley's going to be pretty ticked off that they're an underdog to a lesser opponent.
He's going to headbutt some refs because he's so
Hey,
mad.
I bet he doesn't get away with it again at the same time. Caleb, you have a pick in that game as far as the lines goes. You like UConn plus the 1.5, sounds like to me.
Yeah, you got it.
All right, sir, the guru, what would you say?
Just because I'm biased and I don't want to root for UConn, I'll go Illinois. I do think that UConn is probably has the best chance to win. I do agree it's crazy that they have a whatever you said 41%. Is that what you said?
Yeah, but it's ESPN, so we take them with a grain of salt.
That's very true. That's crazy to me. But the shot that Illinois has is just shot making. They're kind of similar to, I compared them to Alabama earlier. Obviously, way more size than Alabama, but if they're making shots, they're really hard to hang with, no matter who you are. And so Illinois' best chance is they got 3 or 4 dudes that are hitting their threes, and it turns into a scoring competition. And if that happens, I think UConn's going to struggle. But I don't. My concern is that they won't have the opportunity because UConn plays super, super physical, good defense. But I'll go Illinois just for rooting interest, and I think they have a chance. They're also like every time 3 of these last 4 teams, every time they walk out on the court, it like amazes me how big they are. Illinois is ginormous. Michigan is ginormous. Arizona is ginormous. Although Arizona is a different kind of, they're more like width-wise ginormous. But no, Illinois, it's insane. Like they're rolling out 3 different 7-footers, and every single one of them can shoot. Their 4 guy is like, first of all, maybe the slowest moving person in the tournament this year, but he's really good. But no, they're just giant. It's kind of insane. Makes me. That's when I started losing confidence in the good old Razorbacks. And we weren't small, but some of these other teams are just crazy.
What do you think, Caleb, is the from the European angle with all of these 7-footers coming over and shooting threes? What's that done to college basketball? Because Sir Isaac, the guru, is correct. Every team out there has got 2 or 3 7-footers that are shooting threes.
Well, as you know, I'm a huge Thunder fan, so I love it. Our 4 is 7'1", and he shoots threes as good as anybody else in the league, in my opinion. So I love it. I think it's crazy, but I was always the kid growing up playing NBA 2K, and I would always edit my centers to have a really good 3-point percentage. So I love it.
So you like to extend the defense, bring those big boys away from the goal, try to neutralize the rebounding edge, and try to see if those big boys can hit that 3 consistently.
Yeah, I think it spreads obviously, like you said, it spreads the defense up. It also speeds the game up a little bit where, you might have a 7'2" guy chucking up a 3 and a point guard's got to go get a rebound. They're already running the fast break without having to make an outlet pass. So I just think it makes the game more fun, and you just never know who's going to put up a half-court buzzer beater, It could be a 7-footer, it could be a 5'10"er. You just never know.
You never know. Sir Isaac, who do you think has the advantage of all 4 teams when it comes to size and as far as presence is concerned and rebounding?
I'm gonna go Michigan only because I think Michigan is a little bit more of a mix of scoring and size. Arizona can obviously score it. They scored 340 on us or whatever they had. But Michigan's got a little bit more shot making, and they also have the size. Like Yaxel Lindenberg is 6'9", 220, but he's out here crossing people up and hitting threes. Arizona is, I think, just physicality inside. I think Arizona is the strongest, but I think Michigan is the kind of the better combo of the height, length, size, and shooting. But you're comparing. I mean, it ain't like they're way better. They're all really, really good teams, and Arizona's so funny because I feel like nowadays the trend is obviously like shoot threes as much as possible. They're so weird because they shoot it at like a super efficient clip, but they just don't shoot a lot. They play inside
Mhm.
out, and when they finally shoot them, they make them. Um, it's kind of not the trend of college basketball the last however many years, but they're making it work. And obviously, there has been a trend just this year to transition more towards size. Because that, I mean, in just a year's time, that was a major difference. This season is the best teams have these big. Or I say that Florida was successful last year, and then I think either that's why or that was just the beginning of the trend. But Florida was so successful last year with a bunch of big dudes, and then now all of a sudden, three of the Final Four teams, that's like their build. So obviously we're moving back in the direction of prioritizing some size, but yes, most of them can also shoot.
Some
So
stretch fours is what it sounds like
yeah,
to me. Well, again, when you start talking about basketball and who's going to win, it comes down to three keys. Number one is you have to limit turnovers. And UConn's
Mhm.
got a point guard that can play. Illinois has got a point guard that can play. Number two is who's going to control the pace of the game with those turnovers. So number one, you have to have key is you have to limit your turnovers. Number two, you have to out rebound your opponent, and that's why I was asking the question. I do believe that Illinois has a advantage on the rebounding against UConn. Three, and probably most important when it comes to that, is you have to make your free throws down the stretch because what you're looking at here in all of these NCAA March Madness games is it comes down to the last 2 minutes and they're fouling, they're trying to catch up. And my goodness gracious, make your free throws in the last 4 minutes of the game and other
Mhm.
outcomes would happen. So I will tell you this: I like the UConn's point guard as far as the pace. Illinois can beat anybody if they shoot their threes. They do not play the defense that UConn does. I'll take UConn plus the 1.5. Expect them to play in the championship game. Let's move on to Arizona and Michigan, the game of the night. Guru, what is your line? And go ahead and give me what you think and from an evaluation standpoint, your analysis.
Michigan's minus 1.5 right now, and I like Michigan. I think it's going to be a super tight game. But I think I said it earlier, but I think they got just a little bit more shot making than Arizona does. And I think Arizona's strength is playing inside out. Michigan has some guys down low that can at least slow them down more than some other teams Arizona's played. Um, don't think they can stop them, but I think they can limit it. And then I think it's going to come down to just a little bit more shot making for Michigan. But super good game. I'm super excited about it. I'm just going Michigan. I like Michigan to win the national championship. I have all year. I love their coach. They have absolutely curb stomped some really good teams this year, which is obviously anything can happen in a one game situation. But yeah, I like Michigan in that game.
You think the point guards in that game will be the difference because Michigan right now has the best point guard in the country besides what you think is Mr. Acuff.
They both kind of have like unique point guards in the fact that they are good at the position, but they're not like out here scoring 20 points. Bradley for Arizona and then Cadeau for Michigan are both like 10 to 15 point a game guys, and just kind of control the game, don't turn it over. I think it's going to come down to kind of the 2 through the 4 spot of who's making their shots. Is Yaxel going to go for 25? Is Braden Burry's going to be able to score? It's just going to come down to that. One team's got to have a guy that has a good night, and I think that's all it's going to take. It also, I can't make up my mind on the over under total points because I could see it being super low scoring. I could
Yeah.
also see them. The line's 157.5. But I can't make up my mind on it. Both teams could score 80, and both teams could score 60, and I'd believe both. But yeah, no, I like Michigan. I'm rocking with Michigan till the end, and but I am excited for the game.
Sir Isaac, the guru, takes Michigan minus the 1.5. We'll move on to Caleb now. You got Arizona and Michigan, two teams that have been at the top of the polls all year long. Two losses for each team the whole year. Caleb, what do you think when it comes down to the Arizona Michigan game will be the keys of the game, and who do you lean to, and what is your pick?
This one's tough. I'm sitting here looking at the bracket too, and I noticed neither Arizona or Michigan have been battle tested in this tournament. Both teams have blown just about everybody that they've played out, and so I think going back to the UConn and Illinois game, I think that's going to play into one of those teams. Whoever wins that game's advantage of the national championship because they have been battle tested on their sides of the bracket. But I am also going to take Michigan minus the 1.5 in that game against Arizona. I think Arizona is that team in the tournament that they get to the Final Four and they get a little bit too big for their shorts, and then they think they're just going to win it all because they're Arizona and they're really good. I think Michigan's probably going to come out wanting it a little bit more after their domination against Tennessee.
Well, you've got two picks so far for Michigan minus the 1.5. I can tell you that Arizona has had a tremendous amount of quality athletes come out of that program, all the way going back to Lute Olson. Phenomenal athletes. I know Richard Jefferson was one of the best college shooters in the game. I will take Arizona plus the 1.5. Expect that whatever point guard does best, and really whatever team shoots better that night. They're both equally the same when it comes to talent wise. They are the two best teams in the tournament, but not always do the two best teams win. That's why they play the games. So we will take Arizona. I will take Arizona plus the 1.5. As the Guru and Caleb both take Michigan minus the 1.5 in that matchup game. Well, let's move on to where you think the national championship winner is going to be. And you've got right now, Guru, UConn for Caleb and Michigan. You've got Illinois and Michigan, and I've got UConn and Arizona. If we go there, who's going to rise to the top? Who's going to be the MVP? Who's going to shoot lights out? Who's going to be the difference maker when it comes to Monday night national championship game? We'll start with you, Caleb, and let us know who you think the national championship is or champion is, and who will be determining the MVP.
Because Dan Hurley's a psychopath, I'm going to go UConn in an upset. Yes, they're smaller, but I think they're a little bit more physical, and I think they're just going to come out wanting it more as the underdog. And like I said earlier, I think Hurley's going to be ticked off that he's even an underdog in general in this tournament, and they've had to kind of fight and claw their way through. In terms of MVP, I'm going to go with the freshman Mullins. I think he's got a lot of momentum after that Duke game. He's either going to crumble or he's going to come out and shoot lights out these last two games. So I'm going to go Mullins and UConn are going to take the crown.
All right, you got your first national champion picked today on Fee's Sports Ball with Sir Isaac, the Guru. Caleb picks UConn, again, the national championship. And he's got a boy going to shoot lights out. How many do you think he's going to score?
Oh, maybe 15.
All right, 15 points. We will go now to Sir Isaac, the Guru. Sir Isaac, let me know what you think is going to happen in that national championship game.
Well, without repeating myself too much, I like Michigan. I don't know. They're one of the better. There's several teams this year that I think would have been the best team in college basketball in the past several years if you put them by themselves. But Michigan, I've watched them a lot this season. I think that them at their best is better than any of the other teams. I do agree that if there's any team that's going to give them, I think if it's Illinois, Michigan, I love Michigan. If it's UConn, Michigan, I think UConn can give them more of a run for their money because of the energy and intensity that comes from Dan Hurley as a coach. But I like Michigan either way. And
I think Michigan, Arizona, either one will be a 5 to 6 points. So let's say
I
5.5
agree.
point favorite in the national championship game. Who would you go with then? Would you play the dog
I
or would
would.
you play the
I
favorite?
think I'd go with Michigan.
Even at 6, because I think 5.5 is where it'll come out at. But I'm going to say
I will. That'll be where I bet.
okay.
But I did not like where I'm sitting here being super stubborn, feeling just great about it. But I think that's where I would lean.
I would tell you that Michigan, Arizona, the winner of that game will be a 5 to 6 point favorite in the national championship game if UConn is playing. If Illinois is playing, both of them will be 8.5, 9.5 point favorites.
Potentially.
Yes. So
Although you said Illinois is a favorite against UConn, that's the weird thing.
I know. That's what I thought would be your trap game, and I thought you would fall right into it, but you did not.
I am a sucker for a trap.
He is a sucker for a trap game. All right, so you've got Michigan, even in the national championship game, minus the 5.5. Caleb, you would go with UConn in that game plus the 5.5?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Because you got UConn winning the national championship game. I will take, just for the panel to all three be with different picks, I'll take Arizona to win the national championship game against Illinois or UConn as a 5.5 point favorite. Folks, I do appreciate you guys tuning in to Phee Sports Ball today with Sir Isaac the Guru and special guest Caleb. We'll have our final thoughts for the day. Caleb, would you like to start them off?
Final thoughts for the day. Can it be about anything?
Anything.
All right. Well, here in about an hour and a half or so, I'm taking my dad to Love's Field in Norman, Oklahoma to go watch the third ranked, I believe is where they are right now, OU women's softball team go run rule Kentucky again. They beat them 10-2 in 5 innings last night. And nothing better than a little stormy day softball on a Friday afternoon. So we're going to do some of that. And then my Oklahoma City Thunder beat the miserable team out west by 40-something points last night. It was over with 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. So I saw a couple of over-unders being taken on how long it was going to take Luka Doncic to fake an injury by the time they were getting blown out, and it only took the third quarter. So Oklahoma sports are in a good place. My football team in Norman's probably going to win a national championship this year, and going to watch my Thunder go back-to-back. Those are my final thoughts for the Friday.
Fantastic, Caleb. It sounds like you're going to have a wonderful day with your father. That's great memories on this Easter weekend. And it sounds like to me that the Oklahoma softball team just continues to be Oklahoma. As far as your national championship for football next year, good luck with that as we'll move right on to Sir Isaac the Guru's final thoughts of the day.
I'm glad he brought up the Thunder because I was going to give them a shout out too. Obviously, I know he's a Thunder fan, but I did watch that game last night and it was a beat down. I didn't appreciate Luka leaving because I had 2 different NBA player prop parlays that every leg hit other than Luka. So that was cool. But he robbed me of about $120 he almost had a double at half. He needed 3 more assists and I would have had it. So didn't appreciate that. But was cool watching the Thunder whoop them. Isaiah Joe had a really good game, which is always fun.
Yeah.
And that was a blast. Also, as quick of a rant as I can possibly give, since we didn't really recap the Arkansas game, I will say, don't let any of this sound like I think we would have won that game. I think in order to win that game, we would have had to make shots. And so regardless of the situation, we missed shots. So we're losing the game, not what I'm saying. However, watching that game, I got really, really angry about the way the refs handled all of the technical calls and the flagrants and stuff like that because it was like they were trying to set a tone of like, hey, we're not going to put up with any nonsense. But every single call that they made to set the tone was on Arkansas, which I really didn't appreciate because there was moments where we were mouthing back and forth with their players, pushing back and forth both ways, that whole deal. And not a single time did they call anything on Arizona. Billy Richmond got thrown out for one of the weakest flagrant 2 calls I've ever seen. But it really frustrated me. Obviously, like we're already losing, so it makes it worse. But I got really angry watching the way that they handled that game. It was basically just like, hey, y'all are losing so we're going to go ahead and call everything on you, and we're going to protect Arizona, is what it felt like. Made me very angry. Also, they were they weighed 240 across the board inside, and I watched every single play. They're down there pushing, shoving, and when we push and shove back, they blew the whistle.
Inconsistency is what
Yeah,
you're saying.
well, no, it was consistent as
Okay.
heck. It was just consistent towards one side.
Consistently bad.
But if you got a bunch of size and you're going to let them go down there and push, like Nick Pringle got mad and got a technical because he spiked the ball. I would have spiked the ball too when they literally showed a replay of him getting two hands shoved in the back on the other end. He comes down and pushes Arizona, and they don't even hesitate to blow the whistle. It was just infuriating. It was salt in the open wound. Like I said, we're losing no matter what. We didn't make shots, and that was our only chance. So, not sitting here saying the refs cost us the game, but it was disappointing to watch how they handled that, calling that game, and it was not good for my mental health while we were already getting whooped. So
the Guru's emotional roller coaster of Arkansas sports, ladies and gentlemen, will not end. It will continue as long as he is breathing air.
I'm fortunate to have a TV screen remaining in my house and not have to do DIY drywall repairs because I was on the verge for sure, but no, it was rough. It was rough, and also OU has no chance of winning a natty. I'll throw that in.
Oh my goodness! Well, thank you for that rant. End of year, folks. College basketball has come and gone after Monday night. I certainly hope you guys enjoy your Easter weekend, Good Friday. What the Lord Jesus Christ did for us on that cross, we benefit from and will with the kingdom of God. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, basketball season. I've got Arizona. We've got somebody gotten UConn from Caleb, and when we've got Michigan for Sir Isaac the Guru. We'll be back with our NBA playoffs and season, and then move right on into professional and college football as we go throughout the year. Guys, remember, no matter what you're doing, you're missing something. So let's make what we're doing worth what we're missing. God bless you.